Ma'am, this is Cadet Park and Cadet Woods, and this is our PowerPoint presentation for Deliverable 2B. Background: climate change is a phenomenon that's recently begun to show its effects and the dangers as it presents that affects the entire world, the economy, and essentially life as we know it. So the scenario is that Pat has given us a tar ball filled with data from weather stations about climate from all over the world. It is our job to use that tar ball, extract the data that is specific to the Arctic Circle, and analyze it so we may present our findings and a hypothesis on current climate change. Some of the methods that we use. So in order to isolate the data to using only data presented by Arctic weather stations, we isolated the weather stations that are placed in a latitude of 66.33 and higher. Through the use of Cygwin and Microsoft Excel, we're able to manipulate and extract the data that we're specifically interested in. The end state, through working through this tar ball, is to be able to find data regarding the critical point of the temperature from different weather stations that were all in the Arctic region, such as the annual minimum average temperature in the 5 weather stations with the most severe climate change.
So the method for solving this problem, the first step was to first modify the VBA code and patch script to calculate the average annual minimum temperature for each station. Next, we had to calculate the slope of least squares, and we used the formula of SSXY divided by SSXX. A more in-depth description of what that is in our Excel file. From that, we were able to sort the slopes to find the stations with the greatest increase in temperature, or just the stations with the highest slope. We use the filter function in Excel. So from the findings, here are the top 5 stations with the greatest slope, or the fastest increasing temperature. First one, first station, new alert. This was the one that we researched. So over the past 50 years, data has been gathered on climate change in many stations, but for this one in particular, it had the highest slope of least squares. And in the following slide, you'll see a graph of the average annual temperature. Note it is in light blue right here. You'll see that there's a gradual but noticeable increase in temperature. Lastly, this is our works cited, and this concludes our presentation.